another window popped up, but we are live now. So, hello and welcome everyone to our, that should say, 7th episode of our D&D 5e campaign called Roaches. Today's recap will, as usual, be done by Lodwick.
Well, it's easier for me to read my notes without my glasses. In last session, the party arrived at the city of Berg.
Oh god, I have my Twitch not muted.
There
it is. Okay.
Am I muted?
No, I had my Twitch unmuted, so I was echoing.
Oh no! All of my points are gone!
Your points? The channel
My channel points are gone.
They shouldn't. Anyway.
I know! I'm trying to fix that right now.
Anyway, you may
I wanna
continue.
make you eat a chili pepper.
As I said, the party arrived at the city of Berg, which was the city in which the entire adventure started so many sessions ago. They secured lodgings at the Yawning Snail, an inn that was already used as a lodging place for the first members of this party. And during their stay at the Yawning Snail, Clark used his time to draw a face on Dio. Dio being a piece of rock, more specifically pyrite, a very hard rock that can be used to sculpt, and that was used by the Egyptians to sculpt pillars and columns and such things. And they were planning to go to the circus that was just outside of town. Arriving at the surface, before that the main show would start, they strolled through the circus, and there were several activities in which they could participate. One of them was a contest of strength between a strongman and a contestant. Clark
Beat the shit out of that strong man.
wanted to test his strength against a strongman, and proved to be quite strong and bested the strongman fairly easily, I have to say. And apparently it was something quite novel for the the people of the circus, because I think it was not supposed to be to go that way. But nonetheless, Clark was, I think, 1 gold piece richer. Gained 1 gold piece. Please correct me, DM, if I am wrong.
I think it should have been. These are the wrong notes. Wait, where are the correct notes?
He got a prize.
Yes.
He got something from it. After that, Mel, our dwarf, wanted to test his shooting abilities at the shooting range, where you had to throw 5 knives at several targets. After some throwing, Mel succeeded, although at winning the best prize, which was a beautiful, quite pricey dagger with a silver finish and a pattern etched on the blade. He also got something out of it. While
So,
Arahant,
you forgot something.
yes, what?
He won a catfish.
He won a
No, yeah,
catfish. You
no,
also won a
yeah, more
catfish
stuff.
plushie.
Yes, he also won a catfish. It's true. At least a plush, a plushy figure of a catfish. It's true.
I'm looking at
Uh,
my inventory.
By the way,
whilst
I just realized, DM Senpai,
What?
my name is not scented.
Oh. Yeah. I will fix
Oops.
that. I have to eyeball it anyway. Yeah. You may continue.
thank you. So Arahant, a character, went toward an older woman, a soothsayer, because he once had a dream or a vision or something like that, in which he saw him talking to that same woman. So he approached her, and that the soothsayer told him that she sees she read his future, and she saw three voices in his future or in his fortune. Two of those three voices were snakes, or spoke with a forked tongue, but only one of those two um, voices was poisoned, meaning that only one of those two eviler voices wanted to actually do him harm. The third voice was a voice that would always speak true, but also had a big appetite or a large mouth. It could be interpreted in both ways. After that, Clart, happy that he won his contest with the strongman, wanted also his fortunes read, as well as that of Dio. And, well, their fate was uh, I have to admit I didn't wrote it down, but it was quite.
I think it was something about a monster in some cave and my love life
Yes.
not looking good.
Your
Yeah,
love life
something
looking
like that.
rocky.
Looking rocky, yes, indeed. So pretty generic. And then finally, main show started. The main show consisted of two clowns. The two clowns were an orc and a giant that started to ride on a unicycle and did some juggling. After that, that were followed by gnomes throwing knives at the target. Then we had the circus beastmaster of the circus came next with a lion, followed by an elephant and a giant boar that could walk on his hind legs, on its hind legs. But the main act was an aerial show on a wyvern. And I remember that Claude was quite ecstatic about that, and if possible, would like to have a tour of the circus and especially the wyvern. And with that, the circus show ended. After that, after the circus show, the party was approached by two persons, a human that called himself Jonathan, was extravagantly clad, and the other one was a weird fish-like being that were the garments of a that had a mask on, or at least had a mask on, and were priestly garments, and called himself Lubo. And they went into seclusion and or a backstage. The priest took off his mask and revealed that he was some kind of fish-related creature, a Kuotoa, that served a deity called the Great Catfish of Wisdom. They told that the purpose of the fate of the Great Catfish of Wisdom is to change the fate of others, but for the better, and by doing so, using joy and enjoyment to achieve that betterment. Hence, the fact that they had a circus. Because mostly in a circus, one can find joy and enjoyment and fun the fun things in life. And through fun and enjoyment, trying to better their own fate. It could be morose or otherwise. Arahant, and that I will say for the two new players that have joined the session. Arahant was a wizard with the ability, in his young age, had the ability to see visions, and was taken in by a wizard that coached him, sent him to a academy to learn the basics, then returned to his master wizard to complete his apprenticeship. And she told him that he had an aptitude for divination, which would explain his visions. And a couple of months before that, the adventure started, Arahant discovered that he had several abilities that he could not place under the abilities of a wizard. Mostly, the ability to heal, to be able to heal. And he was always curious about that, and he learned by that Kuatoa that apparently the Great Catfish of Wisdom had, for some reason or another, taken interest in his life and was the one granting him these abilities. Arahant was also offered if he would accept those gifts, and if so, if he would become a follower of the fate of the Great Catfish of Wisdom, which Arahant did. Hence, story-wise, explaining why I have some level. And he got a holy symbol out of it. During their adventure, they had acquired a spell book, and that spell book was made from the flesh of a person that was played by the Duke. They were employed by the Duke, and the Duke flayed that person and turned its flesh into a spell book. Apparently, the consciousness of the person that was flayed, or the being that was being flayed, had also been imprisoned in that book and was influencing Arahant through through granting him the knowledge of several spells from the necromancy school. Well, they also learned that that spell book was made from not human flesh as Arahant and the others speculated beforehand. It was made from demon flesh. And that the consciousness inside that book was in fact that of a demon. Arahant, who grew concerned about that, being influenced by having voices of a demon, asked if there was a possibility to set that demon free, setting free in the sense of either let it move past the, either banish it back to the place where it came from, or shutting it out completely so that it could no longer influence other people. It was possible, but the book had to be brought to a place called the Island of Apes that was situated in Monkey Lake. And there the book could be kept in a secure place where it would no longer be able to harm or corrupt other beings. It was possible that it could even be destroyed there, but I was not very clear if this was an option, yes or no. And that is where the session ended.
Yes. And so the new session start. We start right where you left off. Basically in the room with Glubo and Jonathan, who ask you. So I'll as you'll have to or as you are planning to travel to Monkey Lake, I think it might be advisable to have someone with you who might not only know its whereabouts, but who can also has been there before and is trusted by the locals. I think I told you that our religion, as well as the circus, was originally founded in a small village on the basically bordering the lake. So I would recommend taking one of ours with of our circus members with you. And as we haven't been in much trouble recently, I think it would be the most wise to send one of our enforcers with you. Notice, can you please come in? Or I guess it's a kind of soundproof room, so he would go out and basically let the enforcer standing or who stood in front of the tent in. I guess Notice can now introduce himself.
Yeah. Well, Notus isn't particularly talkative. He's very tall. And he has two long curved swords on his back. He enters into the room and just looks around, waiting to hear what he has to say.
Is he human? Um,
His skin is human, but it has a weird light blue tinge to it.
horns and tail?
Nope.
Old,
Hmm?
old, meaning without hair.
No, he has hair, but his hair is almost gray.
Um, so I guess then Jonathan is the first to speak up. May I introduce to you my bodyguard or my enforcer, Notice, and our hand and the others who I never asked for their name, I think.
Hey, I'm Clarf.
Now Stonegazer.
And yeah, that's it because Mal is drunk at the tavern currently.
Mm-hmm.
So Notice looks at Jonathan and just gestures with his head at the two, asking what does he need to do with these.
They want to travel to Monkey Lake. You should know the way, and you know that the people there don't really like it when strangers sail out on the lake. So I would like you to vouch for them as a member of the circus.
Notice just sighs and with a deep voice says, "Fine, just give me a couple minutes to gather my backpack. I'll be right back." And he leaves the room.
At at this point, in a tavern, a drunken Mull wakes up. I think he wakes up to like a massive plate of basically everything one could want for a breakfast, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Ooh, Joey.
And did you also leave him like a note or something saying where you guys were, or did you just leave him breakfast?
I think I left him a note where we were.
Okay. So then there will also be a note saying something like we went to the circus without you.
He reads a note, shrugs, devours the breakfast, and then happily heads to the circus.
As basically as you are heading in, you see the others heading out of the main tent with a new person, a very tall person, following them.
Mull heads towards them, waving at them vociferously. Oh, hello there. Oh, I must have drank a bit too much last night. Well, thank you for the breakfast where I left it. It was most appreciated.
No problem, my man.
We got someone new. Who's this? I'm Mull. Some call me the drunk. I think you can tell why.
Notice just nods.
You see before you average height man with a ruddy complexion, except he has long pointed ears, ram-like horns that travel up and down behind him, wild sort of bushy brown hair, a large pot belly, and his legs are actually that of a goat, fuzzy with cloven feet and digitigrade joints. And he's wearing a sort of a casual sort of like half robe tied to his protruding waist, and slung across his back is this enormous gourd that sloshes as he walks.
And he currently isn't wearing someone else's pants.
No, he's wearing his own pants.
Good to point it out, thanks.
So where are we going?
First things, we're going to the guard over there. Get my baby back.
Your baby? When did you have a baby? When did this happen?
You
No,
just see this
Mel.
earnest glare.
Lady. It's lady. With an L.
Oh, a lady. I see. Wait, when did you have a lady?
With the sharp tongue.
Oh, I must have missed
Mostly
that.
shoots through.
Well, all right then. Lead on.
I would also like to acquire some holy water.
Yes. Holy water is basically always sold at the price at which it is created, which... How much was it? 10 silver? Oh no, it's 25 gold pieces. Okay.
25 gold pieces, yes.
Yeah,
You're technically a cleric.
you can't really sell it cheaper because the ritual to create it costs 25 gold pieces.
Oh, okay. You have to
So-
have that spell.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. Well,
You would be able to acquire it from Globu or from any other person from any other
do not,
clergy
do not think.
member.
Yeah, no, it doesn't has enough. It doesn't have enough gold in his pockets.
Well, if you need a little bit of gold, I can always lend you some.
Well, if everyone is all right with it, we could take it from our communal loot.
Well, if you think it's necessary, I don't see why not.
Well, I do think so because there has been quite there have been some changes. You know the spell book that you had to give to the ogre, and that was later on given to me because of my wizardly inclination. Well, we discovered that the book is actually made from demon flesh and has a demonic presence in it. And,
Oh, you don't say.
and it is slowly influencing me. You remember that I used a spell once in which I was able to kill an entire army of roaches with only the flick of my hand. Well, apparently that demonic presence can influence me. And I do not like this because I'm afraid that sooner or later it would be eroding my own willpower and I would do something harmful to the rest of you. I would not like that. I've learned that by coating the book in holy water, we could at least stop the influence or the demonic presence influencing me.
I think the specific thing that was said was by coating your spell book in holy water, you could prevent the demonic book from stealing spells from it.
Yes,
That was
yes,
it.
indeed. And yes, replacing it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I must say that's bad. So you should do it. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Then I will purchase the holy the holy water from what's it called? Glubo.
Glubo, yes.
Okay. That
Oh,
case.
while we're trading for things, I've got these gemstones we got. I want to sell them. Can't exactly drink them, can you?
50, 50. Nee, even is het.
Yeah. The gemstones.
Yes, we have 14 gemstones, but we don't know what their word is.
Yeah. If everyone wants to leave the circus premises, we could then. I would then go do any shopping that would happen outside afterwards. So, is there anything left that you want to that any of you want to do at the circus?
No, circuit itself. No, nothing that Mel wants to do.
No, Arhant. The moment there are too much things spinning in Arhant's head. So
What's our game plan with the whole city maybe infiltrated by cultists or something? We're just kind of putting that on the back burner, or like,
Well, we're currently dealing with part of it.
nah, I guess it's fair.
You kind of got you got that that writ from the Duke that would allow you to basically immediately get an audience with the mayor or any other lesser nobles, and would probably also grant you entry into the prison and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, like, since we had like the plan to go to this other place because we got the extra guy now, I just didn't know if we wanted to
Alright.
follow up on pursuing those officials and stuff.
yes, indeed, we still have to deal with that demonic presence or with the demonic problem. True.
But first of all, after leaving the circus premises, when you look for or when you enter a jeweler's shop, he would be willing to exchange the raw gems. I think it's 14 small raw emeralds, like very small.
Mm-hmm.
Those were, yeah, they were green gems, and those were all from those were all ones that the roaches were carrying.
Yeah.
So they are not that big. They are worth 10 gold each. Or
Okay, so
he would be
that's
willing to give you 10 gold each.
That's not bad, 140.
mm-hmm. Well, he'll gladly accept that.
Anyone else wanting to do any shopping or selling?
Not Arhant.
No, I don't think so.
Those 14 gemstones will keep them on or at least the 140 gold pieces. He
We can
keeps it
divide
on
it.
him or puts he. Or
We can
is it
divide it. We was technically party loot, so we can divide it amongst ourselves. So there's 6 of us, right?
I mean, technically, right now there are 5 of you.
Okay, so that would be 28 gold each.
Or you can just put them into the party loot for now. To maybe not discriminate against any members who will show up in the next, or who will join in the next 20 or so minutes.
Okay, yeah. So put put 140 in the party loot.
No.
Okay. So
Yeah, tell the money for half plate. I don't really. Or if I decide to buy upgrades or such pieces that I need to do stuff.
and we have 185 gold pieces in the party loot. Mel.
Hey.
And it's normal if and I am showing him a holy, my holy symbol. Apparently, some divine being has taken an interest in me, and I became one of its followers.
Oh, I missed quite a bit when I was drunk, didn't I? Oof.
Yeah, well, it could be that I was also drunk without knowing it. But
That's happened to me several times.
if I start to proletize too much, feel free to stop me.
It all depends how funny you've been.
Oh yes.
Well, if we're going on a long adventure, I need to stock up with me drink.
Hmm.
Mull is going to buy like a keg of cheap wine from a cellar if he can find one.
Yeah, keg of sheep wine. I guess if you want like basically the watered down stuff for peasants, it would probably be around for like a big. How many liters is like a keg? It's like this size, about, right?
It all depends on well, he doesn't want something that's diluted. He wants something that's strong. So maybe like ethanol or rubbing alcohol would instead.
Pure alcohol, okay. That might be a little bit more expensive. Especially a keg of pure alcohol.
I checked. A keg is about 124 pints.
No. Okay. There's a handy chart I can show you. Barrel sizes. There we go.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Are you really intending on buying medicinal alcohol?
Yeah, because he can always dilute it with his own water if he
I
needs
guess
to.
so. But
Yeah.
then you would probably not want a full keg of it, right?
Well, a good amount, like a large size, good sized bottle.
I would imagine that stuff is pretty expensive, so
you could have one of those small kegs that we mostly see being carried by Saint Bernard.
I would say like a big bottle. Let's make it 5 gold.
Sure, he'll pay for that. And that's mole shopping done.
Okay. I have all the rations one needs for a long journey.
Actually, I would like to go buy some stuff as well.
Okay. What kind of stuff?
I need to get, let's say, two extra rations and another flask of oil.
Do you want? So the flask of oil would be standard price, basically. What is it? They're relatively cheap, if I remember correctly.
I need a specific oil, something that burns for a long time.
Yeah,
Kerosene.
yeah, it's they are just a piece of silver per flask, the burning oil.
So I guess I'll get two in that case. And how much for the rations?
A ration if you want like good proper rations, it would be 5 silver per ration, or you can get cheaper, low quality stuff for 1 silver.
What is the difference between the two?
The stuff for 1 silver is like mostly a hardtack and maybe some scraps of dried meat. I guess potatoes, just cheap filling stuff, while the proper rations also contain stuff like honey, butter, and cheese.
So I guess in that case I'll get 5 extra cheap rations and 5 oil flasks.
Okay.
That should be
1 gold piece.
Yeah, I have 10 on me, so I'll reduce that to 9, I guess.
Yes.
Alright. And I'll add that. That's 7. And the rations I have, are they good quality or?
They are good quality, yes.
So add 5 cheap rations.
Yeah.
So if a good ration, how much does a cheap ration weigh?
The weight would be the same. It's your standard, what is it, 2 pounds?
Yeah, so 2 pounds
per ration,
yeah.
Yeah, the 2 pounds that a medium creature eats per day.
Alright, added.
Yeah.
And final thing, I need to stock up my tinderbox, like get an additional one.
An additional tinderbox.
How much would that cost?
Additional tinderbox would be 5 pieces of silver.
Damn, that's expensive. I guess I'll go for it. So 8 gold, 5 silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Tinderboxes, 2. Alright, so that's my shopping spree done.
Okay, I think that should be everyone's shopping spree. Anything else you guys want to do? Or I guess after you're done with your shopping, what do you guys want to do?
I still need to go pack my stuff.
I would imagine you have done that
alright.
while in the time where before Mal arrived at the circus.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Should we perhaps consider buying 3 healing potions with the party funds? We might need them.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Each healing potion is 50 gold. We can buy 3 of them, 150.
Yep. Healing potions are standard priced.
I mean, we can.
And we can keep them in the party funds, play loot, and when we need them, we can use them to revive or to heal.
I can also heal in a pinch if needed. So
Yeah, but if you go down, if our healers go down, it's good to have backup healing.
yes, indeed, that's true.
Yes.
I am not very robust, so I'm not a pushover, but do not take hits quite well. Let's put it that way.
So I guess whoever manages the party loot can update that. Or whoever wanted to buy
Yeah,
that, so everyone agrees.
I can do it. If we're buying 3 healing potions, I'll do it. So let's leave us with 45. And there we go. It has been updated.
Yeah. I mean, you could also put the potions into its inventory, but
No, but this way we can like at a glance see what's in the party loot. I need to click on it.
I'm just kind of afraid of it getting a very long name and having a character is named the entire B-movie script and writes something in chat, so 2 pages of chat fill up incident. Yes. But now that you bought all your stuff, what do you guys want to do now?
Well, Mel, you wanted to. What did you have as a plan? You wanted to address the demon problem in the city.
No, well, I mean, technically that was me, Justin, just trying to bring that up the way we remember.
Okay.
But yeah, are we gonna question the mayor or something about these demons? Seems a little foolish to just go out. We saw what happened to that last city when they were left to do their thing.
That's true. And remember, we also at least you, I, and Finrunner saw also what those roaches did when we were in the inn a while ago.
Exactly.
Okay, let's. That case, I'm good that we. Unless someone else has another. This happened.
I forgot that this would happen. Ah! The entire interface. Anyway. Anyone else want to recommend a course of action, or does everyone agree with that one?
I'm here just to follow the party, so they get to decide.
Well, let's at least talk to the person that is in charge of the city of Berg, and update that person on the problem with the roaches and the demons, and see if at least if they cannot do something against it, at least they have a fair warning. They can try to build up some kind of defense or countermeasure or emergency a measure to evacuate the city or something like that when such an attack would appear or happening. So let's go to the administrative building then.
Um. Yes. You make your way towards the administrative building or city hall, to be specific, and on your way, you travel past a smithy, and Clark just decides to says, "Yeah, I will uh, head over there, and I have I have an idea for a great surprise for you guys that I could craft," and he just and with that he's gone. The smithy. Yes. And after that incident, you arrive at City Hall, and by showing your wit to the guards, they also immediately let you in to talk to the mayor. The mayor's office, or I guess it's not really his office. It's actually a meeting room. So it has a long table with easily enough chairs for all of you to sit down. The mayor sits at one end. He's you would say he's tall, but also more than just slightly overweight, but seems to be a relatively friendly person. Wait, did I actually? No, this is not part of the map. Okay. And as you all take your places, he asks you what's the matter.
You want to start our hunt or me?
I leave it to you. I'm quite studious and but not very eloquent.
Don't think that I am either, but that won't stop Mel.
I have a 7 on charisma, so
I got an 8, so
okay. Well, I went with the team with my prophet seer, a bit like Cassandra, that could see the future without fail and was always right, but never believed.
So has the mayor given their name at this point?
Yeah, it's Mayor Anlin.
Anlan. Anlan?
It's an M at the end.
It's an M.
Yeah.
Lam. Ah, yeah.
Anlin. Well, Mayor, we come here to let you know. I don't know if you've taken notice of both in your town as well as the surrounding areas, but there's been a lot of strange activity afoot. We were just in the small little mining village not far from here, and they had come into some issues and problems with this weird demonic cult forming there and taking off their friends for sacrifices. Terrible looking lot. They'd basically force feed them and try to use them as little breeding pits for the little critters.
So I mean, we lost contact with quite a few villagers. Are you saying that all of them had a similar fate?
I can't say all, but from the little bit that we've gathered and come into contact with, could be nothing, but could be something way more foul. And we have reason to believe that there could be their conspirators or cohorts in this town as we stand here talking.
And what makes you believe that?
What did make us believe that? Been a hot minute. Well, we interrogated that cultist guy. I don't remember what he told us. He talked more to Arahant than he did me.
He basically told you that he was the first inducted into the cult here.
Okay. One of their number that we managed to capture and get some word from told us that he was first indoctrined into the entire order in this very city. If that don't speak ill, then I don't know what does.
And is that all that you have, or just one person? Is it just one? So it's just a strange cult going on that sprouted up in the slums. I shall
If I
have my
may-
guards root them out then.
If I may interject, my Lord Mayor, I would also notice that one of the towns that or the town that we visited, which was hit by the cult, where they were, as my friend here said, stuffed and taken prisoner and used as sacrifices. That the town was also ravaged by an entire army of roaches that were destroying, eating, and transporting everything that could be considered edible or an organic nature. And when my friend Mel Stonegazer and myself and an other acquaintance of us that is no longer with us, unfortunately, were staying at an inn. We were also that inn was also attacked by roaches. So there is a correlation and a link between the wave of roaches that seem to plunder everything and that demonic cult. So I think that although maybe rooting out or sending your guardsmen to flush out that cult would alleviate some of the troubles, but also take into account that you will need a lot of vermin. How would I put it? Vermin exterminators at your disposal.
That sounds like quite the huge trouble. I will see to it that they are all killed or if they don't, or if we catch them alive imprisoned.
What kind of vibes is the mayor like giving off with his body language as he's hearing all this?
Give me an insight.
Okay.
He, you're not sure of it, but it seems like he definitely speaks in a concerned tone, but it seems a little bit forced.
Question. My passive perception is 14. Does that help with the?
No,
Does it
that
help?
perception is more like seeing traps or seeing people that are hidden. Insight is for like interpreting someone's behavior or speech. Yeah.
So it does help, I think.
No.
I
You
mean,
said you said interpreting behavior and speech.
Yeah, I said insight is for interpreting behavior and speech.
I
not
missed that.
perception.
You cut out. You cut
Okay.
out there. Never mind.
Okay.
yeah, and I rolled pretty high, so that's basically probably all we're going to get from him is that he's kind of forcing the emotion of being, oh no, we'll get right on that.
Might even be the same people who stole my jewels.
Perhaps. Mel kind of like grimaces at him.
Those
So
pretty
you're
sure it was one of those roach people in the slums.
your jewels were stolen.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like look at Arahan to like, we're not going to get much from this guy.
Well, then
So
in that
why are you asking it that way? Do you know anything about those jewels?
well, you know, in a big city, to or in any community for that reason, you hear a lot of things, and we heard rumors that that the jewels of the mayor were stolen, but I I always thought it was an exaggeration by some of the inhabitants of the city. So I must say that I'm quite shocked that that it was true. I thought it was just some gossip in the street. You know, people in a big city or in a community, there is always gossip and things like that. Some things are true, other are not. So I thought it was a bit exaggerated, that it was a form of gossip. But apparently, no, it was true. My apologies in that case. It's not fun to lose something valuable out of your possession.
Uh, you almost gave me hope that you know something about the whereabouts, but
No, unfortunately not. But your hunch could be right that maybe you could find something with those roach people. if indeed you think they are the cause of the theft, or at least have a hand in it.
I mean, they're always up to no good down there in the slums. Really unpleasant folk in general. And I think if you're talking about some sort of roach cult, then they must be linked to that some way.
Well, we just wanted to get the word out a bit, the way you could start taking precautions. You have your duties I'm sure you have to fulfill for the day, and we have our own quest we gotta embark upon. So, kindly bid you adieu and be on our way. Thank you for your time.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. We wanted to praise you of the situation, so that you could at least, at the very least, be aware that there's something afoot in the city of Berg. So,
Whoever of you is carrying that pendant with you, that holy symbol that I think now went, that roach demon amulet that now it's in party loot. I guess you technically have two of those, I think. But it might also be that the other one was.
I think one of them was in the possession of Clarth, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and the other one was in the possession of Arahant.
Okay, then while you're standing up to leave, you feel that thing poking you through the pocket, and after feeling for what it is, you think about how you acquired that, or where that was originally acquired, or I guess you, not that one, but the story of the guy who went to who stole one of those from a guard, and later was imprisoned for
yeah.
As the one who
theft
was
of the
accused.
jewels. Yes.
Yes, indeed, the one who was accused or put into prison, and they used the excuse that he was the one who stole the jewels.
Yeah, well, if I had my
Which we-
suspicions of it, there's definitely the higher ups that are involved in this. Probably the mayor himself, in some way. He may not be directly linked to it, but he is definitely playing the fiddle for somebody, just given his body language.
Oh, well.
This
Or
is
a
Justin
politician.
speaking out, not Mel. Just
Okay.
when we get out, then Mel can breach the subject.
Yeah. So as you're leaving, the mayor offers each of you his hand to shake, and with that, you are off.
The moment we exit the building, I say to everyone a bit quietly, he's not gonna do anything. He never did anything in the past about that.
Yeah, fortunately, I think there's something a bit more sinister afoot. I kind of look around to see if there's any guards near us.
Yes, there are guards near you. Actually, Mal as well as Notice notice that at least one guard seems to be shadowing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, whispering to the rest of them. We'll speak of it later. We gotta. Wait, who noticed? Was it me or Mole?
Mole and Notice.
Okay. Then if he lets us know that we're getting shadowed, then
The thing is, Mole is currently deafened. So,
no.
so I'm assuming Notice will do that.
Yeah. So I look a bit around, turn to motion you to follow me. And then when you catch up, I quietly say, don't look around. Someone's following us, and I think it's one of the guards.
That sounds. Yeah, but as I said, if there was suspicion, it's definitely rooted now. But we'll keep quiet till we get out of here.
That mayor is definitely up to no good. Well, let's talk in my tent.
So
I'm
you
afraid we stepped into a viper's nest. City politics, always the same.
Well, we can hope they fumble around and fuck something up. By
I
getting startled.
would go for a quick break right now and
Yeah,
go to the
sure.
bathroom. Yeah.
What time we shooting for?
Uh, Okay, we're back from our break.
Right. Sorry, I was checking something because I wasn't sure if the break was also being live streamed, just the audio. But
No, I muted
I
the
see.
audio.
I see.
And I'm never sure if I should mute the audio for that or not, but I usually do. Yes, I think one of you recommended heading back to the tents or basically any place where one can rest for the night.
And the circus seems like a pretty secure place, considering I'm just one of several enforcers around there.
Yeah.
Well,
As
I mean, it
well
just depends on
as
the time of
the
day.
no weapons allowed rule for basically everyone but the enforcers.
Yeah, Mel's not happy about it. He doesn't like people touching his girl.
Um. So are you so you all head to back to the circus again? What do you intend on doing there?
Well, what time of day is it now?
It's probably evening by now.
Okay. I guess just finding somewhat temporary lodging away from prying eyes to discuss with the party what we have discovered about old Mayor.
Yeah.
Well, Notus is just gonna crash on his sleeping cot. The others are welcomed in, by the way. I should specify.
So whatever communal area they have for the circus,
Yeah.
that you lead us to.
Mm-hmm.
You might even see the manticore not the manticore, the wyvern being fed. There's no manticore in the circus.
I mean, they're both pretty difficult to handle, but I feel like a manticore has its own
I think
issues.
manticore is a little bit less animalistic.
They have some intelligence. They can talk very barbarically.
I guess do they actually have? Oh no, the wyvern is way more animalistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the manticore is on the level of a stupid humanoid.
Yeah, well, I look at the others from my sleeping cot. I don't know what to call it, and just and point back at the entrance. They stopped following us the moment we entered the circus. They know not to come close.
That's good to hear. Yes, everyone gather around if let's discuss business. So, as we were talking to the old mayor, he was giving me some bad vibes from the start, but after watching him some more, looks like most of what he was saying to us, Arahant, was well, he's pretty much looking like a puppet on a string, just going through the motions, not really feeling anything he was saying.
We've been here for a while. He hasn't done anything about anything that's been reported to him.
And given our interactions with the would-be thief's spouse and how he keeps latching onto those stolen gems or whatever we discussed, there's definitely, I don't know how deep it runs, but some pretty hefty corruption I'm seeing in that town. The mayor's not directly involved, and he's a pawn to something larger.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Step away for work reasons.
Oh, good. You didn't miss much, just a very shady meeting with the mayor.
Yeah, he's suspect as fuck.
I don't think Mullen would have been paying attention anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
I mean, you are still talking amongst each other. I don't think I need to interject anything.
No. So I guess our plan now is to go. What was it? This lake or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Lake, the island of the apes. That is situated in Monkey Lake, where we, at the very least, can keep this this spell book secure, and at least no longer be troubled by it. And by we, I mostly mean myself.
It's just one problem to take care of and see how this whole cultist business shapes up to be. Need to find more intel and figure out how we're going to move on Berg and getting to the root of all that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an important question that's been bugging me for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's called Monkey Lake?
I never bothered to find out.
Is it because
No.
monkeys live on the lake, or do you think the monkeys made the lake,
Noted would actually most likely know the answer.
or is it because the lake is shaped like a monkey?
Notice you would know that it is inhabited by cannibalistic monkeys. And
Well,
actually a race, and also a race of monkey-like humanoids known as the Betu.
Oh, okay, well, Mo was
yeah,
trying to make a joke, but I wasn't being serious.
yeah, I'll answer to that. Before I was an enforcer here, my company passed there once. The monkeys there had a good meal that night.
Oh, I see. All right then.
So definitely keep our eyes and ears about.
Let's
So
just say that with just us, it won't be enough.
Who knows? Maybe I should listen to the voice in the book. I have to say, I will be honest. I did learn different spells that can be quite destructive, although it's not in my nature to use such magics.
You learn magic from a talking book. Do you
Yeah,
plan on actually using it?
I mean, didn't you?
I already did. With the flick, we were attacked by an entire an gigantic swarm of, or even by multiple swarms of roaches, and with just a flick of my hand, I decimated them all.
And what exactly is this book?
Well, as far as I could piece it together, it's some kind of a spell book, or at least that's what was we. That's what we. No, it is no. My apologies. It is a spell book. We were doing an errand for the Duke. It's the letter of the Duke that with the credentials of the Duke that we got to speak with the mayor today. But he gave that apparently the Duke is some kind of fiendish being who flayed another being, made his flesh into a book, into a spell book that he gave to his daughter, so that his daughter could write her spells inside it. But apparently, the person that, or the being that was being flayed, its consciousness has been trapped inside the book as well.
At
And
that point, Notus raises his hand to stop you.
Ah,
You should have started with that. So you're reading spells from a vengeful spell book.
I'm not reading spells. He's
Using spells, you know what I mean.
used one spell, only because it was because we were in a very bad and desperate situation.
Well, for the moment, I would suggest you to put it away.
See, this is exactly why I avoid all that magic. It's a bunch of headache.
You don't know how right you are. Well,
My own spell book is much less devastating than the demonic one.
I would have guessed as much.
That's also the reason why I want to get rid of it, but get rid of it in a place where it can no longer cause harm, neither to me or the rest of my companions, nor to others. That's why I apparently on that island of the apes, we can get we can leave the book there and get rid of it. Not only we, but the entire rest of probably the world. So that's
Well,
why it's on my priorities to get rid of that book, because it's, though it has been giving me forcefully, I will add, knowledge of several spells. It also stole spells from my book.
well,
Fortunately, I can write them back inside my book, so the knowledge is not lost to me, but it's troubling.
well. At the moment, we are not strong enough to go. We are not strong enough as a party to go to that monkey island, and I am not going to rely on that spellbook to get us out of trouble. So
Well,
we need to.
how bad could a bunch of monkeys be?
They devoured half of my company in an hour.
Cannibalistic monkeys?
Yes.
Like,
How?
what was their company doing?
We had about 60 men, most of us armed and armored heavily. We were traveling through there to get to one of our assignments. Let's just say that we did not make it to our assignment.
Yeah.
That's troubling.
Dangerous or not, that's the only real path that we have. The only direction that we have.
We have two problems though, or at least you do. The roaches and the spellbook. And I think the roaches are the problems that you can deal with, because the mayor certainly won't. But it is up to you to decide. Because if we're going to that island, we're going to need at least one more person.
Where did you expect to find such a fella?
Nobody of the enforcers here would abandon their post. Where we find one, that's no, I have no clue.
Maybe fate will provide us with an opportunity or a solution about that, resolution about that. Who knows?
Maybe it will, but at the moment, that's well, as you said, it's up to fate.
I think we've seen much more dangerous and strange creatures than some damn monkeys.
Well, I don't know about you, Mel, but cannibalistic monkeys. Those are not the things that they teach you neither at the Academy of Wizardry nor by my personal teacher.
I could kill one easily. Two, maybe even three. Not when there are 100 of them. And I assume you can't either, unless we're using that spellbook right there.
Perhaps we don't have to kill him. Perhaps we could just trap him somewhere. Is there a cave or some such on the island?
To reach the lake that we need to reach, it's a straight walk to the lake from the shores. There are no caves in the way.
Alright then, we can always set a trap. Lure them somewhere and make sure they can't get us.
I did not notice any cliffs or caves when we circled that island.
Or we can always make our own. We can always dig a big hole.
How will you assure that they won't climb out?
Well, we make the hole really slippery, you know?
But they're monkeys.
Aye, but the monkeys need something to grip on, don't they? If they make the walls of the hole smooth and slippery, they can't climb.
Yes, but I suppose you will need a lot of grease to do it.
We'll need more oil than our money can buy.
Well, fighting a infestation of roaches is also not that easy, as Mel and I can.
That's a good idea. We can always make the grease from the roaches. You know, break them up, pulverize them.
You have roach bodies on you.
Where? Mal was gonna frantically try and shake off invisible roaches.
Notice is just gonna facepalm and turn around on his cot. Right, when you figure something, let me know. I'm going to sleep in the meantime.
It's getting late, and it was an eventful day for all of us. And I think that everyone got something out of this day. Do know that Lard came out with his pride ascertained and his strength also ascertained, and that Mel here has acquired a nice dagger and a nice plush figure or plush toy.
Yeah, but before I go to sleep, going to be looking over this dagger. the very least, it's pretty good work. I've seen better, but pretty good.
By the way, like out of character, I'm sorry that I'm making notice a bit of a like bang your hand on the wall type, but he is a mercenary veteran and has seen a lot.
You good?
Which would make sense. I mean, mercenary veteran is by by definition a person that has indeed seen quite a lot and quite his of or her share of horrors and things and other sites. So
Yeah, but if I'm being a bit too much of a like stickler, just tell me, I'll tone it down.
No, it's good to have a straight man.
no, it's,
You know,
it's,
in comedy, there's always the funny man and the straight man. And
Yeah.
you're the
spot
straight man.
on. Spot on the character, I suppose. So
I'm not sure if I really made it. I mean, I'm assuming I made it clear that the island is on the lake because it sounded at one stage a little bit like you were saying that you need to travel through the island to get to the lake, which would be weird.
I meant it the other way around.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think anyone really needs a long rest or needs to refill anything, but
It's mostly for flavor, yeah.
yeah, no, I'm just saying if anyone needs to still has anything to fill up, they may do it now.
well, Arahant would like to will say good night to the rest of the party, and will take his leave and will try to see if he can find Globo. Globo is still around, and if so, if he can find him. Has some questions.
Yes, she would be still around.
It's a she.
I think so. It's quite a non-gendered name, but I think I originally made it to her. I can't.
Okay. Let's say that it's a she. Okay.
Yeah. And then, other than Mel's general maintenance of his weapon, it's just him looking over that dagger.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You do find her. What do you want to ask?
my apologies to trouble you on this hour of the evening, but I must admit that it's quite something to learn that a powerful entity has taken interest in someone, and that becoming a person or a follower of its faith is quite something to take in. Are there prayers or rituals that I should follow? Are there tenets? I want to know how to not disrespect the great catfish of wisdom. Know that I am one of its mortal servants.
The main tenets are. Why did I write them down as tenants anyway? The main tenets would be changing people's fates for the better and bringing joy to people. Those, yeah.
Are there prayers or rituals or
There are prayers, and she explains them to you, but none that I have fully thought through as a GM.
okay, well,
Yeah.
let's just say that he gets a teaching of
Yeah.
the necessary prayers and the lore and things that a cleric or a priest should at least know about this deity. And you can later fill me in then with some details.
Yeah.
If need. Okay, but to speed things up after that discussion and that he has well, I will not say, I hesitate to use the word to be indoctrinated because he became a follower of a new faith, but after having learned more about this and will also take his leave, and say goodnight to Globo, and he will also what would he, only place he has to stay is the Yawning Snail, so I suppose he would return to the Yawning Snail because we had runes there.
There's probably also bunks left here in the circus.
Okay, well, then he will take a one of the bunks in the circus, and keeping in mind that they were followed by on guard, circus being for the moment the safest place, he will find a bunk somewhere and crash down for the night.
Anyone else want to do something before they go to sleep?
Nope.
Okay. Then our hunt will have the dream. Also, once you wake up, all of you can give me a con save.
Ooh, con save.
Constitution. Well, I have a plus.
I know I'm good at them, but no, it's not great.
It's DC 13, and everyone that failed takes basically wakes up to 9 points of poison damage, and those who succeed to 4 points of poison damage.
Damn. Where the hell did that come from?
You as well notice.
Arahant is looking at his hand as he sees a stab wound or not.
Give me a perception check. Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. I cut out there for a bit. What did I miss?
You slept, woke up, and everyone that all of you have to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 13, taking, what was it, 9 poison damage on a fail and 4 on a success. It's 19. Yeah, wait, why
91 perception.
am I looking at the wrong person? But yeah, you notice like a tiny red dot, basically, like where something almost like a mosquito bite, but or something like that, like in between 2 of your fingers on your right hand.
So I guess I wake up and look at the bite, not really realizing what's going on.
Wait, would you? Mal would also just notice it with his passive perception. Let me check if you would notice.
It's 15.
Yeah, Mal would definitely notice. But
Mine is
notice
14.
notice wouldn't automatically know.
So I
That,
guess I should roll a perception,
yes.
right?
No, you don't notice it, but yeah.
Yem, did we had a long rest?
You had a long rest before you took the poison damage, not afterwards. But yes.
God damn it.
So yeah.
Well, it's I already subtracted my 4 hit points, but because I have had a long rest,
Uh,
I must roll now for my 2 portent die,
Yes.
which
that
are a
part.
14 and a 6.
Oh, me head. Oh, I think I drank some bad liquor last night. Oh, and this fucking... Oh, me hands itching.
These meds louse infected or something. Something bit me fierce.
I think so. Oh.
no, we changed them yesterday. What's going on?
See anything in the immediate area that causes alarm?
Not really.
What the hell?
You don't think one of them roaches bit us, did you?
No. How it managed to bite all of us at once?
Uh, s- r- could be rats.
Rats? Where?
We had a rat problem here recently.
And apparently apparently all of you also have a some kind of mark on your hands.
Why?
Do you also feel a bit sick or weaker?
I feel like I got a really bad headache. But
I
that's
try and
normal.
touch the bite mark, see if it hurts or if it's numb.
It's numb.
I shake myself off and sit on the bed, and it's not a regular poison.
I have this thing like a spiked manacle that I want to. Can I use that? It says checks for poison, disease, and demonic influence / incubation.
Yes, it yeah, you can. It deals some tiny amount of. Oh no, it doesn't. It's not a tiny amount. It deals piercing damage to basically check your blood.
Oh yes, those manacles. Yes,
Yes.
yes, we got those manacles.
It's-
true.
It's actually 1d10 piercing damage to check your blood.
Oh, I was
But-
thinking like a D4.
I mean, you're a fighter and you can just make a short rest.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I might as well. So.
by the way, just some IRL interesting info. Why did I say that it's not a regular poison? Because a regular poison would like inflame the area and it would hurt when you touch it.
I mean,
If it's neurotoxin, it
Yeah.
would go numb.
Yes.
I
Oh,
poked
did you
myself.
already roll the d10? Or you did already?
I just did. I
Okay.
poked myself.
But yeah, there's still poison in your system. It still detects that you are poisoned.
Mm. Well, then I may as well go ahead and use my second wind too.
So,
Wait,
yeah, is there a doctor or a healer at the circus?
Yes, there would be. It's the same old woman that reads people's fates.
I assume because I'm one of the enforcers, she would help us, if not for free, just at least for a cost reduction.
Hey, got 11 back.
Yes. Most likely for free.
So I set up, I stand up already, starting to feel very dizzy. We can go to the old woman. She'll help us.
so the dagger stab was real.
So what?
What? Oh, sorry, I was. I had a strange dream last night, and it ended with a corpulent man that stabbed me in the hand with a poisoned dagger, and that's when I woke up, and I didn't felt quite my crispy self.
Can I
So,
examine the wound up close to see how it looks like?
No.
It's basically a tiny red swollen area with like a miniature with something very tiny that has stung into it.
Also, did I learn the properties of that dagger? Because that's what I looked over last night.
Can I improvise a bit because I saw something fun with that.
And what did Mel say regarding the dagger?
I was just wanting to know what the details of it. I just know that it's a shiny dagger. I didn't know
Yeah.
if looking over at the night in a long rest would
The
learn any properties of it.
I think to identify something like that, you would have to make an Arcana check.
Thought you could just do a long rest with it, but okay.
Isn't the long rest with it just for attunement?
It's
No,
attempting to.
No,
the
for
attunement.
no, attunement is
for-
quicker, but
As the attunement is 1 hour with the object in hand.
and it tells
The
you.
moment you are attuned, you would know its properties
Yeah.
of the attuned object.
But so basically, what you definitely know that it's not an attunement item.
Okay.
I motion to the outside of the tent.
And if someone wants to use identify or make an Arcana check, they may.
No, I'm not proficient in Arcana, so I don't think I'd be.
I can always try to give it I can always give it a try if you want, Mel.
Yeah, I mean, I figured if I wasn't able to do it, then I would have asked you before the night went up.
Are we sure it's the time when we're dying from neurotoxin?
This is like a retroactive thing because I talked about that I wanted to look over the dagger last night.
Okay.
Okay.
To go a little bit more. Yeah.
So should I do the Arcana check? Yes,
Yes.
or no?
Or do you have identify?
I do have the spell identify.
Oh yeah, but you don't.
Because
But,
I don't have the pearl.
oh yeah, then you can make
Cost
the Arcana
1,000.
check.
That cost 100 gold pieces.
Yeah.
That goes with it.
Okay. Yeah, then make the Arcana check.
I have expertise in this because I'm a knowledge cleric. So.
The single
Oh,
digit.
damn.
Nah, you can't really
But
figure out the special properties.
You know what? I will sacrifice one of my important dice. I will sacrifice the 14 plus 7
Yeah.
makes
21.
21.
It's just a simple enhancement to make the dagger more accurate and more impactful. It's a +1 dagger.
Well, it's a well crafted dagger, and you will be able. Let's say that your aim will be true.
My aim's always true.
Yes, of course. My apologies. But you will be able to do some additional damage with. It's particularly sharp. Let's tell it. It has been enchanted to be quite sharp.
I'm calling it Carnival Dagger +1.
Yeah, you would also notice that it's not really there isn't really an enchantment on it per se. It just seems it's the metal itself that's magical in nature.
It's the met. It's an enchantment. It's not. It's more the metal that is. They're using some kind of magical metal. In any case, it's a fine dagger, and we'll have a good use of it. I'm sure of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
You won a nice prize. Oh.
So I guess you're all heading to the soothsayer's stand.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on.
And I somehow the one who talked to her.
Yes.
So I stumble over to the booth and lean on it, already feeling very dizzy and barely able to stand. And I simply look at her and say, "We've been poisoned."
Oh, then let me check. Any info on how you got poisoned? Where?
In the night, each of us got stabbed between the fingers. It's not a regular poison.
Then give me your hand. And
I just slap my hand on the table.
yeah, and she looks at it with basically spreads your fingers. looks at the wound. Let me draw a little bit of your blood.
Just do it. I'm about to lose my consciousness anyway.
And she just needs a tiny amount, so you really
Yeah.
only take 1 point of piercing damage, if any.
So my current hit point is 29.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh wait, shouldn't it be lower because of the poison?
Yeah. I just assume it haven't fully kicked in yet, and we're just very drowsy.
No, I specifically said 9 poison damage if you fail the
alright.
save.
So 20.
You did. Did you fail?
I got a
yeah.
12, I think.
Yeah, you did fail. It's a 13 that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, she kind of puts the little bit of blood that she drew into a bowl. Just at first, she starts to like basically split it up into multiple little vials. And mixes them around with different liquids and herbs before before she sighs and says, "It's not conventionally detectable. I think I should have a scroll lying around." A magical scroll to identify it, and she rummages for it, performs a ritual that involves the burning of some herbs and other hocus pocus before declaring it's a very hard to detect poison. It's used by a lot of it's prized by assassins and the like. They have they really like it because it kicks in slowly over days, slowly draining away at people's health and not letting them and not letting their natural recovery fully affected. So when the person dies, the assassin will have been gone for days.
Can you actually cure it?
I don't have all the materials for here for a cure. I would need some specific herbs. We should. I'm sure our the doctor we used to go to when we were or like yeah, the doctor in that town Acom on the town bordering Monkey Lake. I think that man has some of those stored.
I just look at the Arahant and say, "Oh, you got your wish."
Meaning being stabbed in the hand.
I
Because
think
that was not my wish, no.
the slow dying. No, I think they're going to Monkey Lake. Request.
Take your pick.
And as you wait, no one said anything on what they actually are doing. So what are you guys going to do now?
Well, I mean, can she give us like an onset period of like how long does this poison typically take to take root to fruition?
It really depends on the individual person's toughness, let's say, to avoid sane constitution. But for most people, it takes about, or for the average person, it takes about 3 days, 4.
Mm. And how
But you
long?
guys look pretty tough.
Okay. And now look at Notice and about how far a trek is it to Monkey Island?
Remind me, Ian, where are we on the map?
On the map, you are. I need to find the map real quick. There it is. No, you're not actually at the Red Axe. You're relatively centered on like the bottom left landmass.
I just sigh
Or
and
maybe a little bit more to the north than to the center.
yeah. I just sigh and say, this will take us a while. We'll need at least a week to reach that place.
I can give you a concoction that should maybe slow it down, though.
There enough for all of us,
Mhm.
or just one?
It should be enough for all. It's just a few drops of it per day,
Mm.
and then don't overdo it. Medicine into high amounts, it's basically a poison as well.
Yeah, so a couple drops a day. So we all need to mark a time, and then that's when we all gather around. Okay, guys, time to take our medicine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm also quite versed in the medicinal arts, so
Maybe you can ask her for the recipe.
There's. I guess there would also be one other way. If you can actually give me like an actual proper sample of the poison, I could maybe also create an antidote from that.
I,
We don't know what poisoned us.
I can only say that I had last night a dream of someone that pierced my hand with a poisonous dagger, and I woke up with a piercing wound and apparently with some poison in my body. But I do not think. I'm afraid I cannot give you the actual poison.
Monkey Lake, it's looking like.
Go ask the sentries if they know, if they saw anything suspicious last night.
I mean, they may have been paid off. given how they were able to sneak up on us and poke all of us.
I doubt it. But just be wary. We might get a clue out of them.
Yeah. As you talk to the people that watched the outside of the circus encampment for the night, they say no. We didn't notice anything strange in the night, though. A little bit, like a few hours ago, two guards came and actually asked for you, or for you and your friends. They say they have an important message from the mayor.
I just look at the others and say, if I ever meet him alone, I'm going to decapitate him.
Well, we can't let them know that we're on to them yet, so we should see what they want.
Just give me the mix. I'm already about to pass out.
Yeah, she hands you guys a large bottle of greenish fluid that well, it's greenish as like green tea is, not like a bright green, an herbal green. And
Should we?
it doesn't really smell pleasant.
Should we start taking it today or starting tomorrow?
You should start today. Once during the day and once before you head to sleep. You should ingest a drop.
Alright, well, gather around, everyone. Take our drops. Sad that Car's not here, being a dwarf. Just man mode's poison.
Yeah.
Advantage on save, and then even if he takes the damage, he takes half damage.
Yeah. So, where do you guys go from here? Just go looking for the mayor, or
I guess finding a guard to figure out what they wanted.
Well, before we go to find the mayor, I stop and open one of the oil vials to rub on both my long swords.
ah,
I mean, I'm all for proper maintenance of my gear and weaponry, but it seems a strange time to be applying
It's
oil.
not cleaning oil. It's the flammable oil.
Kind of just shakes his head and continues doing what he's doing.
Now I assume we can go find the mayor.
Nah, just find the nearest guard to
Mm-hmm.
inquire about them wanting us.
yeah. Basically, when you ask a guard, they would basically tell you to ask their superior, and that guy would know that the mayor basically wanted to tell you that they actually captured a suspect, and that you would probably be interested in interrogating them at the local prison.
We would be interested in it.
Huh.
Why would we be interested?
Yes, indeed. Why specifically we?
because it's a suspect in the case of those cults.
Hmm.
Like I said, we can humor them.
Yeah, and I lean in away from the guards and say, and in worst case, we'll just kill them. I already fought out of worse situations than this.
Hey guys, unfortunately I have to go now. Work. Hopefully
Hmm.
next time will be better. But have fun, and I'll see you on the what day?
Yeah, sure.
Norm-
Uh,
normally it would
11th.
be the 11th.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Take care, everyone.
You good, dude. Have a good day at work.
So
See ya. So as you head to the prison, you are greeted by the guard captain, who, oh god, all my nameplates are wrong again. Who but where's the other one? Yeah. The guard captain greets you and motions for you to follow him. You come across a few cells, or in this tract, 4 to be specific, before you come across or before you stand upon a very heavy reinforced metal door, which he opens and mentions for you to step through.
Hmm. All right. Let's go in, see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Do we see anybody immediately on the other side?
No, but you hear something, and you smell something. First of all, it smells terrible in there, like basically rotten meat, mostly. And the other thing that you immediately hear is the door being slammed shut behind you.
Do we hear it lock?
Yes.
Hmm.
And
That is...
then, as you, I guess you would also see something, but those are the things you would notice first. But, wait, why?
is it pitch black inside the cell?
It's pitch black.
Well, in that case, Arahant will say will say something under his breath, and cast light on his staff. So we should be able to see 20 feet in bright light and an additional 20 feet beyond that in dim light.
Yes, and what you see in so there's multiple things you see. First of all, in basically right in front of you, or I guess 10 feet out from you, it's basically a massive pile of meat and corpses.
Mm.
Oh no!
To the also multiple of the corpses are roachling in nature. And what you see in the cell to the left of you is a humanoid that would probably be best described by Lou.
God damn it! Who turned on the lights? Oh my god! You see, as the humanoid is holding a leg and was halfway through eating the leg. Although he is humanoid, he possesses a. Let me just grab it real quick. He's kind of like a mixture between a half man and half crab. He possesses a sort of carapace all over his body. It's made out of bright reds and dark blues instead of. Instead of. I don't really know exactly how to explain this. I could send a picture of the
I know what
character on.
I know what you do.
Let me see.
I'm trying to zoom in
Here.
on your picture. Is that a mud crab?
Jan, would I
Yes, it is
have
the mud.
would I have
Okay.
met someone like him during my mercenary life?
Probably not.
Yeah, that sounds pretty unique.
Hmm.
Definitely a face you're not going to forget.
Hmm.
Oh my god, I can't actually copy the image.
Just open
That
open the image in a different tab and copy that.
Is it just the image you sent me of the guy
yes,
with the sword?
yes, yes.
I think it depends on where you wanted to copy it. I mean, we can just copy it into the Friday stream game chat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yes, basically you see one of those.
Yeah.
So it's a humanoid being with long arms and legs who possesses this kind of carapace all over its body. It's only 3 fingers in each hand for some reason. And instead of a normal sized head, he possesses what is sort of the torso of a crab, you could say. He's wearing currently some, how could you say, cloths, I guess, tied around his entire corpse, like blue and yellow colors. And I'm not sure. Do I have my staff here with me?
You don't have it with you, although the others would basically see a pile of equipment also lying next to the meat pile, in which there also is a staff.
I see. Well, in his body still there is also many trinkets made out of seashells and objects. I mean, how would you say clams? Is it correctly clams?
Yeah, clams.
All right. And as a staff, you could kind of recognize as a staff is a dead coral branch, possessing mirrors and other trinkets all over it. He's staring at you in kind of fear.
And that made me my crossbow at him out of disgust.
Ah, goddammit, don't point that thing around.
I lean on the bars and just look at him. You look like something out of the abyss, don't you?
Nay, fella. Goddamn landwalker don't know what he speaks of. I come from the sea.
Yeah, from the deep abyss of the sea.
Under the sea.
Well, not so far deep in the sea, but the sea itself.
And what are you doing here?
I come in search of my people. They have disappeared ever since this goddamn demons have started appearing up here in the land. Took me 3 weeks to get here just to be arrested by some guards or however you call them.
You're also trying to figure out things about these demons.
Yes, apparently they. How can I say this exactly? Well, this is a bit complicated. My people heard rumors of them. They decided to hunt them down, you could say. Not many of them returned afterwards. I volunteered to leave and go search for them. Didn't go too well.
Hmm.
Your discussion is interrupted by a noise coming from the meat pile as a large figure starts to rise from it. But before any of you can act, I would say we leave the session on this cliffhanger.
Oh, god damn it.
Ah, damn.
I
Mostly because I have been up since 5, and
yeah. I just wanted to show why I poured the oil on the swords.
Ah, man, just got to introduce my character, the local Brazilian crab man.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not good at describing stuff, by the way, like characteristics. So,
You could
that's
just
why I stuttered a bit.
you could just say the creatures in the Bloodborne DLC.
I did not play the Bloodborne DLC. I need to take a look. I basically just imagine that thing from the picture we sent, except it's covered in cloths, like ritualistic, you could say, or clothes, one could say, that thing would wear.
All right, let's see. Bloodborne DLC enemies were. You've got plenty.
Even short of that gives me Falmer vibes from like Skyrim, like the chitinous armor.
Yeah, it does look like Thalmor armor.
I don't know.
Anyway, I will give each of you an opportunity to say goodbye to chat.
Bye, chat.
I have been stupid. I actually have from my cleric list spell detect poison and disease available, which could have given me all the information about the poison.
I didn't
Everything.
have to stab
Damn it.
myself.
Too much spells. Too much spells. The bane of a spellcaster.
And
Yeah.
I have been the straight man of the party, apparently.
Yes, my
Every
character
party
will
needs
be
straight man.
completely stupid.
Well, but on that, chat, thank you for watching all our madness that is happening. And until next time.
Let's see what the heck we're about to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess technically towards chat we'll see us again tomorrow, and for the others we'll see us again in 2 weeks, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, big deal, right?
And until then, have a good one, everyone.